What it is, what it do, man. Welcome to episode 12 of T3MU TV Sports Show. It's your host, Niro.
It's your boy Roc. It's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. Even if you're part of the Celtics nation, it's still a great day. What's going on, fellas?
We here.
What's poppin'? It's John. I'm back to back. Jordan 96, 97, baby.
You feel me?
What's going on?
John, a regular guest now. You feel me? You don't even get that special claps they used to do with the black sitcoms. You know what I'm saying? You hear it now,
I don't get the interest no more.
You don't
like,
get the interest.
Okay.
You know that shit they be doing. That shit crazy. But how y'all been, man? Everything good?
Oh yeah, man. Can't complain. The weather's nice. You know, like I said, when you get good basketball games too. You know, it makes everything better. So we've had some good basketball, fortunately. So I had no complaints on this side.
Get on the barbecue, get on the grill it up.
You know that,
man. Everything good with you though, Roc?
Yeah, man. You know I'm good, bro. You know I'm on my positivity wave still, man. Shit been going good. Life going good, man. Everything's falling the way that I needed it to. And just like I used to be on some shit, right? When shit be going good, I'd be like, all right, but when's it gonna happen? Because something's gonna fuck up along the way. But you know what I'm saying? But but not no more though. I'm, you know what I'm saying? Just taking everything that comes with it, bro. So you know what I'm saying? Definitely
enjoy the moment.
Good. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it might sound fucked up, but I was like, damn, C's lost, but life good right now. So I ain't even,
word. Them niggas is million, they good.
Yeah, like I ain't even really tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga said I lost Tatum, but my parlay hit.
Yeah, word.
You know what I'm saying?
We up somewhere.
Yeah, we up somewhere.
There's light somewhere. There's positivity somewhere.
Yeah, definitely prayers to JT. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna include him in my prayers. My prayers been working lately.
We definitely gonna get into JT. You know what I'm saying? Got a segment for the boy. You know what I'm saying? Got love for him, so we definitely gonna talk about him. But let's get to our quick hitters, man. Quick hitters. Giannis is open-minded on leaving the Bucks, man, and that sends shockwaves through the league, you know, because he don't normally talk like that. So, what do y'all think? Where's the best destination for Giannis to go? Who want to start? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
You started up.
I mean, Dream. You know, I'm seeing the memes and all that. LA, you know what I'm saying? But Jesus. Clippers, LA, I would love that. But reality, Houston.
Damn,
I say Houston.
That's what I was thinking in my head too.
Houston, and if you know what I'm saying, if you got some in-depth stuff about it too, I would think, I would say also, the Thunder. The Thunder have the assets to do it. That'll be intriguing to the Bucks. You feel me? So, I think those two spots will be good for him. You know, fit right in. You know, those are teams that's on the uprise that are possibly championship teams. So, you know, that would be a good move for him. There's some other teams that, you know, I could think of, but I'm gonna let the crew rock out.
I'm just gonna say it right now because the whole nation is hurting.
Who you gonna say?
I'm gonna say the Celtics.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna say he won't be able to wear number 34, but you know what I'm saying. I do think it'll be a good fit, especially because if they decide to stay with Missoula, which they probably will. You know what I'm saying. Like the spacing that he likes for the teams to play with, I think it'll be a good opportunity for Giannis to get downhill, and it would make sense money wise for the Celtics, who's going to be, you know, in a crazy tax situation in the next couple years, and also they'll be able to bring some other pieces.
Who are you throwing in that trade?
What for? With JB?
Yeah, real quick. Who you throwing?
KP.
Oh, you said JB.
Yeah.
Okay.
For Giannis? Yeah, it has to be.
Wow.
It has to be.
JB, see how they trade on you, JB?
JB's
very
contract
quickly.
It's a sport, bro. It's a business.
You speak word. You screaming business all day. It's a business.
And you got to pick the better business in that circumstance.
You jumping on that train?
I am.
Yeah,
I got 2-3 tickets for that train.
Wow.
I'm out of town with that motherfucker.
Brown, bro.
Yeah, no, it's not even disrespect.
It's just the reality. He's a better player, and I got to go with the better player. I can't disrespect Jalen. I'm a big Jalen supporter. I understand what he does for the team, but at that point, you got to go with the better player.
I don't even think the league's really set up no more for for niggas to really spend their whole career in one place. Like even Giannis saying that he want to go somewhere else. I'm happy that he's saying he want to go somewhere else.
loyalty.
Like, it's not even a thing about loyalty, bro. It's not, bro. It's business, bro. They'll trade you in the
That's what they throw in front of you.
bro,
loyalty.
That's
why the product is not as good as it used to be.
Bro, no, because the product's better, bro. It's like...
Is it really?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
is it really?
It is. It is. It definitely is,
Are you
bro.
excited about what finals is about to come up if the product's very good?
He's got a point on that one.
The product, bro. The product is definitely better in my opinion. Now the style of play is a little different that may not be agreed with, but you look at a lot of these teams got 4 or 5 dudes they could throw on the court that could stretch the floor out to 30 feet.
Good.
That could, bro. That's a better product. That's a better product than backing a nigga down to half court and starting your offense and starting your offense on the outside of the 3-point line. What you mean? How I know? Because I know basketball.
No,
but I gotta agree with Roc on that too, though, because also like the fact that we're getting new teams in the finals every year, that's exciting. You know, people want to see that. You know what I mean? It's not always the Heat versus the Spurs or the Cavs versus the Warriors.
Yeah,
we saw that for how long? So now we getting something every year.
So you trade that in for rivalries?
I would like more rivalries. Yes, I would.
I would like more player rivalries.
Yeah,
because that's what really builds the team rivalries is the players.
I agree with that as well.
No bullshit. I think
don't agree with him. He likes to swindle shit. He can sell fucking water to a whale, my nigga. Don't let him swindle you. He is. He's over here. I'm like John falling for it.
Nah, because he's right though. Because the thing is, I like the diversity of new teams in the finals every year. I don't want to see the same teams every year. I don't. But you're right though. I'm not excited as much for the teams that we might get in the finals this year. But that's me. Somebody else is, you know what I mean? That's just because I don't give a fuck about the teams as much. You know what I mean? I'm a Lakers fan. I would rather it be the Lakers, but it's not. So it is what it is. But that doesn't mean it's bad basketball. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say that.
That's my point, though. So it's like, okay.
I just said the product ain't as good. See, I didn't say the product ain't good.
Well, we might not be as interested in it.
When it was blue tops, it was popping.
Nah, bro. I mean, like,
I
mean, if we look at, I'm not gonna get too crazy, but I just feel like some of these teams right now playing would beat some of the teams that in the past.
We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that. No, we're not.
That's what I'm saying. We're not gonna get into that.
We're not gonna get into that. And I'm glad you actually said that because I'm gonna save that for the all-time episode as well.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So you and John are gonna get it. You know what I mean? But what's your thoughts on what you think is the best fit for Giannis?
Honestly, I like that Houston fit for him because I feel like that's a bunch of young bulls right there. They're trying to find some guidance to find a leader. We clearly know it's not Jalen Green right now. Ahmed is the future. So, you know what I mean? We know Sengun is the future.
Facts.
So it's like, I feel like that's a good little base right there. And you put Giannis in there to be the real leader. The only issue is the spacing might be an issue with him and Sengun in the paint. So that might be a little bit of a problem. But I feel like defensively, that's a lockdown team. That's one of the best defensive teams in the league at that point. But the shooting and the spacing is my main concern. But I think that would be a good base for him to work around.
To work with.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with that.
Y'all let us know in the comments, man, where y'all think Giannis best fits. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But moving on. Mavericks win draft lottery. Crazy. They go on. You know, Nico Harrison trades Luka. You know, his future, the franchise, and he ends up getting lucky and getting the number 1 pick. So what's your thoughts, man? I was gonna ask, should they trade or should they trade the pick or keep it? But they're saying they're keeping the pick.
Hell yeah.
And drafting Cooper Flag. So do you think Cooper Flag sends this team in the right trending direction, or they still got work to do?
I don't think adding Cooper is gonna take them to the chip like a lot of people might. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna be a good piece, but I think it's more so gonna be beneficial for Cooper, more so than him being beneficial to the team. Because I think he's got a lot to learn. He's got AD there for help. He's got Kyrie there to help. The team that went to the playoffs essentially without nobody. Clay, I forgot about Clay, but Clay's a little washed, but we won't go there. But but the rest of that base is pretty solid.
Yeah,
you know, besides that little crack in that house, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a good place for him to go and learn and grow into a good player. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a lot of he's got to come in and be the leader. Yeah. He doesn't have to do too much. He can just kind of grow and be whatever he needs to be in this situation. And I think it's a good system for him. So I think he'll be all right.
Okay. What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, coming into a situation, like we see so many guys that's like, oh, he's a bust, or he's not living up to his hype or his potential, or have to fight, like really struggle to find a role in the league. He gets to like come into a situation where he doesn't have to be the guy right away. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So he could be like, you know, with the players they got, AD and Kyrie, they're expecting to put themselves in a situation where they can like look to make a playoff push. You know what I'm saying? But then they also have like a franchise guy they can lean on in the next 4 or 5 years when AD and Kyrie aren't there anymore, and he could really work himself up to see if he could be that guy. But I think he's a good piece for their team because he's like he plays winning basketball. Like you know what I'm saying? He makes plays. He contributes in a good way. He could defend. You know, what they say is he's super versatile, can defend 1 through 4. Mm-hmm. His defense actually is really good. Like that's one thing I will say about Cooper. I like Cooper. I think he checks all the boxes. He's not my favorite like draft prospect, but if I was a GM, I probably would take him like number 1 because he is the most like sound player. I feel like
most complete product.
Yeah, most complete product. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think Nico Harris. He took a bet, he took a gamble, and it showed, and it paid off.
It definitely paid off.
That nigga's parlay hit.
His parlay definitely.
It definitely did.
Dancing
for a few $100 million.
Mm-hmm. For real.
Yeah.
Because it don't listen.
They were calling for homeboy's job.
Yeah,
I always sitting there like, now what?
Yeah.
Word.
Talk to me nice.
For me, I don't think they should have came out so early with saying we're gonna keep the pick. Like, I'm not too sold on Cooper Flag. Like, I just don't know with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying, you know, he's bad. I'm just not sold on him. But he is walking into a great situation, like y'all are both saying. Like, he's on a team where he doesn't have to be the man right away. So maybe this is a great situation for him. It's all in his favor.
Yeah, you could groom him. You could groom him.
So.
And that's kind of what I was saying was like, I don't know what he's going to be yet. I don't know either, but he can, for the team, he might not be the most helpful, but him moving to this situation is going to be helpful for his career.
For his career.
You know what I mean? Regardless of what he becomes, this situation doesn't make him have to jump up and be the guy.
Almost like Tim walking in with David Robinson there.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
or to a lesser degree, Kobe. Like, he wasn't like the guy right away. It took him like, you know what I'm saying, like 2 to 3 years to get like used to it. You know, he was getting DMPs his rookie year. Not saying that he's gonna turn out to be Kobe. That's not what I'm saying, America.
Please.
Like, so no.
Please.
Like, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? He gets to take his time, and that's good because the NBA is really all about situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta come into the right situation that can really like make or break your career. And you know what I'm saying, like find a piece. I mean, find what your role is.
Yeah. And as a first round pick, the pressure's on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the eyes is on you to either live up to expectations or not. You know what I mean? Are you going to be like the Atlanta first round pick, Ricochet?
Yeah,
Ricochet.
Listen.
Nobody even knows his name.
It was a facade, man. You know, they got away with one.
Yeah,
You know
but no, I don't think you trade that pick. I don't think nobody is like. I mean, and looking at how the NBA is about to go with this second apron.
So you wouldn't trade that pick for Giannis?
Nah, I wouldn't trade that pick for Giannis because then you're only going to have Giannis for like 2-3 years just because of like the taxes. Like AD's on the max, Kyrie, they're gonna take care of Kyrie. Kyrie was a big part of them trading for Luka. You know what I'm saying? So trading Luka. But nah, I would keep the number 1 pick. I would keep the number 1 pick and groom the kid. You know, you got a great situation, great coaching staff, great city. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely keep the pick, man.
If it was me, I probably would trade it for Giannis.
But what if he turns out to be better than Giannis?
Now, what if he turns out to be better than Giannis? So, but you would trade JB for Giannis?
Yeah, I would. That's because, but see, it's different though because JB and thing is like that's like a win now situation. But it's a win now situation if we get Giannis. It's now or next year. It's quick. With Cooper Flag, it's like
the future.
Maybe we get there. If we don't, we still got our franchise player after this. You know what I'm saying?
I hear y'all. But I'm just saying.
If you put it like that, I'm taking Giannis. I'm taking.
Okay, so you want to win right now?
Yeah. Also, it's like I can't go on what the future of this kid who I haven't seen it yet.
Word.
You know what I mean? I can't say that's gonna be better than Giannis, who's one of.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. No, that's a fact. No, I'm just. That's what was you saying earlier. That's for shits and giggles.
Right, shits and giggles. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
dog,
nah.
nigga. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like these last like
now if
5, 6, 7 years, like number 1 picks or number 2 picks have been just okay.
Shaky.
You know, you got one.
You got Wemby.
Now that we're talking,
Wemby and Ant really.
Now we're talking drafts. To be honest, if I had to say Giannis to go anywhere, to be real, saying the Celtics because I'm a Celtics fan, but like to me, I feel like San Antonio would be like crazy if he went there. No bullshit. Like, because they got that number 2 pick to offer. You know what I'm saying? Like that's him, Wemby, that's Castle, and fucking.
That's a problem with spacing, though.
That's what I thought. That's what I was gonna say them as an option, but I was like, I just don't know how that's gonna work.
But the Spurs system is a little different. They do a lot of ball movement, a lot of cutting, a lot of stuff that like a lot of teams don't really don't do as much.
Yeah, and they can put them on block to block. Yeah. They just gotta know, okay, if Wemby running this lane, you run the other.
And Giannis gotta know too. Okay, my nigga, at some point you gotta start shooting the ball. Like you got it. Like at some point you got to be able to. You got to be able to be okay with if we kick it out to you, somebody's gonna kick it to you, and you got to knock down the shot.
Yeah, but I feel like that team is too deep into the rebuild for a player like Giannis to go over there right now. You know what I mean? They just got Pop just moved to LFA, so they're changing coaching. All the players are pretty young. Wemby just got that. Was it blood clot? Yeah, so it's like his future's kind of up in the air.
But that's why you go get somebody that's certified.
Yeah, but that's good for the Spurs, but not good for Giannis's career. He want a ring.
He want a ring.
You know what I mean? He's trying to ring chase. He ain't trying to go over there and lead a bunch of young niggas.
Facts.
He's trying to lead a bunch of young niggas.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel that.
Okay. Last quick hitter. MJ joining NBC next season. I don't know if he's gonna be in media or that would be crazy though.
Oh shit! Wait, so that nigga get a podcast?
Yeah, listen, you feel me? Or a segment where he's sitting down with one of the players, like, you didn't do it, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just gonna be on some shit like that. But what's your thoughts of MJ? You know, the GOAT joining NBC next season and possibly seeing him on TV because you know he hides. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't say he hides, but
it's great.
Yeah, that's great for the sport. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some of these players need to hear, like, yo, you ain't. Like, I feel like sometimes when, like, Charles Barkley say it or, like, Kendrick Perkins, let's just say Kendrick Perkins to a lesser degree, right? It's like, shut up, nigga. You wasn't even good or you wasn't better than me. You wasn't good. No, he wasn't, bro. Whatever. Okay, that's a different argument for a different day.
10 in high school.
High school. Talking about the NBA.
He was an enforcer in the NBA.
No. All right. Anyway. All right. But was he better than he'll talk crazy about he'll talk crazy about Giannis. Just say because we've been talking about Giannis. He'll talk crazy about Giannis. Nigga, you ain't never been as good as Giannis. You talk crazy about AD. You ain't never been as good as AD. You talk crazy about no.
Okay.
No, he said a lot of shit for TV, bro. Okay. He even was going at it back and forth with Draymond. He's not a better player than Draymond. Like at all, but it's like
Charles Barkley.
No, Kendrick Perkins.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say he going off on purpose.
Yeah,
I was about to say,
so it's just like
he ain't got shit on Buck.
So it's just like I feel like it's a respect factor at the end of the day too, especially with these YNs.
So it got to be somebody
that's really like
even if it's true
solidified. I mean, yeah. Because then it's like, all right, my nigga, like you're saying this nigga's the nigga that's telling you. This is the nigga that really won championships and been. No, bro. I don't know, bro. No, that's like if something's wrong with you. That's like when I had to go get eye surgery. That's like me going to a fucking foot doctor.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
He said, I went to medical school, though.
He's a pro.
Exactly.
We're not saying it's not like Kendrick Perkins was a pro in hockey, nigga. He played professional.
Yeah, but
there's levels to it.
Not at this level, bro. Not at that. Not at that level, bro. Not at that.
Yeah, but he wasn't the A1 on a championship team.
You wasn't worried about. You wasn't worried about Perk.
And tell me in 010 if we didn't have Perk, we wouldn't have.
You wasn't, bro. Niggas say that, but to be real,
I hate that narrative.
Being real, bro. We were
hate it because it's true.
No, bro, we weren't gonna win, bro. Kobe, like at the end of the day, niggas lost to Kobe's will.
How many
that
rebounds
game.
he had that game?
But niggas lost to Kobe's will.
And he was gonna move Perkins out the way.
He willed his team.
So?
Yes. He willed his team to victory. You feel me?
Maybe instead of the 15 he might have had 12.
Nah, he might have got
I just feel like
had 9.
I just feel like based off like you know what I'm saying, like who is coming and the fact that it's like the greatest of all time. You feel me? Like the criticism,
can't say nothing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I think it's good for the sport to be for him to be giving back to the game.
I
like
agree.
That.
I agree.
To not be hiding the way that he has been, or I don't want to say hiding, but just doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure when you're a billionaire, you got a billion things to do. I'm sure. Yeah. So you know what I mean. I think it's good for him to be involved with it and really talk his shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. Because the thing is his legacy is always talked about. You know what I mean? He is the GOAT. You know what I mean? So I feel like for kids who might not have YouTubed him or ever heard him talk outside of The Last Dance, that's a good time for exposure. You know, him to expose them to the game. Because shit, who don't wear Jordans? A lot of niggas know Jordans, they never seen them play.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I'm 29, and that nigga, when I was 95, I was born. That nigga was winning chips. You know what I mean? That 5 years, I wasn't really paying attention to ball in 2000. So that was his peak. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. But here to hear him come back and talk about the game and spit knowledge of the game, I feel like that's what the game needs. You know what I mean?
It is.
Because to hear the legacy of the game continued like that, a lot of people will never know. So you gotta carry that on. And I feel like we've had a lot of commentators come on, MVPs and stuff like that, but this is the guy. Yeah. The guy that everyone tells stories about.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
you know what I mean? This is him. Yeah.
Black Jesus. Yeah.
So I feel like even if he comes on for little segments and just talks about, pre-game, post-game, talks to a player, whatever, I feel like those little nuances and nuggets that he's given, like that's just great for the game.
Yeah, and imagine like the players that like really, really work, that really do want it. He says something, he's like, all right, they get into that. I'm gonna do this to shut him up. Right. I'm gonna do this to prove him wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because like, it could matter. It probably really mattered what he said.
Yeah, we seen Shaq do it. We seen Shaq do it with players where he's like, with Donovan a few years ago, he was like, well, I don't think you can do it. So imagine hearing it from Jordan. Yeah. It's one thing to hear from Shaq, but like Jordan,
you're going to kill yourself all offseason. You're going to work to the brink of exhaustion.
You're going to do them black workouts.
I think it said so in that last game.
Work out till you black out.
Nigga. That nigga look over there, he said in that last game 6, were you wearing my shoes when you had those 11 points?
Yeah, word. Take them off.
I take them off.
Like imagine.
Take them shits off.
Like a nigga signing Jordan and he going to be like, we not re-signing your sneaker deal. Nigga, yeah.
Put them up. Put them up.
It sound like you going to Converse next year, brother.
You feel me? Okay. Switching gears, man. We moving on to NBA topics and football topics because I got some football today for us. But we going on to the playoff breakdown. You know what I'm saying? 4 teams left, soon to be. Well, no, it's actually 6 teams left. Sorry, it's soon to be 4 teams.
My fault, y'all.
My fault, yo. You know what I'm saying? I ain't pay attention in math. But Pacers are up 3-1 on Cleveland. Is it time to start respecting them and consider them, a contender or elite team?
In my opinion, no.
No?
Nah, I mean they are because they get here. You know what I mean? But I also think that the team that Cleveland's weak right now.
Yeah.
Would this be the same if Cleveland was healthy? I don't know.
Yeah.
So to me, I can't say that they're elite, but they have an elite system that clearly works in the East.
Rick Carlisle working over.
You know what I mean? So whatever he's doing over there, it clearly works, and they have a team that moves the ball. Any given night, anyone could be the go-to guy.
Facts.
So whatever it is works. But am I willing to say that it's elite or it's going to win a championship? No. So because elite to me means championship.
Yeah, but do you consider them one of those teams in the East?
A perennial contender?
Yeah.
Right now or in general?
Right now, shit.
Right now, yeah, because it's 14.
Yeah.
I have no choice.
You have to.
I have no choice. But so yes.
But from right now, here on out, basically.
I have to. I have no choice but to consider them a contender because they're there. But do I think that do I think that they would beat the Celtics if the Celtics were healthy? No. Do I think they could beat the Knicks? I think they can beat the Knicks, but I think the Knicks still have more talent. So I think it'll be system versus stars. So if the Knicks stars show up as they have been, I think the Knicks still win.
But this will be their second time going to the Eastern Conference Finals. This will be back to back. So That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Last year they played weak teams too. Teams were hurt as well.
I mean, the East is weak. You know what I'm saying? We just got to put it
That's what I'm saying. It's hard for me to say that elite.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
it's tough, ain't it?
Yeah, but I mean, if you go back to back, like Eastern Conference Finals, then we got to say that you're a contender and like you're amongst the elite. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it just feels so nasty.
Yeah, it definitely does.
But was it when the Celtics was in this position?
But hold on, can I finish my argument?
I'm just saying, bro. Like,
was it when James was in this position? Oh, wait, my fault.
I don't know if he did that.
I don't either.
We're not going to do that.
I don't even remember last time he went to a conference finals, but I digress. I think I was still in college. But
give your intake.
But what was I say? Yeah, like, you know, like the saying in boxing, you know what I'm saying? Styles make fights. And like, they just got a style that like, it kind of just like, it works for them and it gives a lot of other teams fits. Like, just like the way they play. They got like, they play like an AAU team or like a high school team. Like,
they
to
just
me,
play
in my
together.
but in my opinion, like they be pressing, they're super scrappy, like, they move the ball very well. And, you know what I'm saying, they got a guy that they say he was overrated, but he can close games. You know what I'm saying? He can get 25 and 12 a night. Like, call it what we want about dog. But I mean, I guess I would have to say it. It's like I don't know if it's because of the Pacers, but like, I mean, we gotta say that they contenders. If they go to the Eastern Conference twice, then definitely. Yeah. And I remember when we used to go back and forth, I used to be like, you know, C's coming out the East, this and that, and then you'd be like, nah, the Knicks, and I'd be like, the Knicks ain't even better than the Pacers, and you'd be like, nah, they are. So I mean, shit, you gotta give it to them, bro. I guess it's like 20 years ago. Remember 20 years ago they was playing like Detroit and shit. Yep. And it was like, nah, we don't want to see the Pacers, but they was going to like back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals
with Reggie.
You know what I'm saying, and shit like that. So,
I mean, for me, you know, it's gonna be more easier than these guys, man. It's a yes, absolutely. Back-to-back conference finals. Like Rock said, they play together. It's just I feel like they're not appealing to me, but just because they're not appealing to me, that don't mean they're not good. You know what I mean? They're shit. They like Rock said, they press. They move the ball. Yeah, they don't got like one star that's like that star, but you know they getting it done, bro. Teams are sleeping on them and they're delivering, and you know what I'm saying. And again, they're right back in the position they were last year and could possibly be in the finals. You know, with them possibly playing the Knicks, you know, because that series ain't over, you know. But what does this say about Cleveland?
I think, for me, it says what I've been saying all year.
That's where the love is.
You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. This was our time.
Field day.
Yeah. It says what you, they're injury prone. It said exactly what me and him said. They're injury prone. Yeah, thank you for saying that. They're doing what they always do. Yeah. Garland's not there. And when he is there, he's not doing that great. Mitchell got hurt last game. He was carrying the team for as long as he could, but they had Mobley go down, they had Hunter go down, and then they had Garland go down.
He did everything.
So he did everything he could. 42 points, and they were still struggling. You know what I mean? What else can they do? So they can't be healthy. They never could be. And you're already playing with smaller guards who can't really defend that well. It's like they did all they could with this season, having the best record in the league. Mm-hmm. Or at least in the East, excuse me. So it was like that was impressive. I was impressed they got the top seed. So I mean, they'll play with house money to me. I was like, they did good, you know. And now they're here, and now they did what they always do: fall apart.
What about you?
I was never really impressed by the Cavs. I mean, I know a new coach came in and like new system, but I just didn't see it. Like they had the exact same team that they had last year, and I don't feel like that they looked good enough to say, okay, they were a 4 seed last year, and now all of a sudden they're the number one team, and they could, you know, challenge in the East. And I thought even if they made the Eastern Conference Finals, I never thought them win. I never had them winning the Eastern Conference Finals. I just didn't see it. Like you could get 50, 60 wins in the regular season. Well, I mean, not say 60, but you could get 50-something wins in the regular season when you're playing in the Eastern Conference. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Toronto got 61 times.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you can, you know what I'm saying? You could do that. You look at like just how the league is, players, you don't know who's going to play every other night. So like, I mean, yeah, like okay, great regular season, but I never seen them as a contender. And like just in my opinion, I just thought it was fake. I don't think Garland and Mitchell is a championship winning backcourt. I like both of them separately. Obviously, Donovan's Donovan. Darius, he was an all-star before Donovan came. So I just never really seen that as like a championship winning formula.
No, he's not the two. He's not a two that can win you a chip or that can take
Donovan.
Garland. Garland can't be your two.
Yeah, he can't be like your
He can't
off
be
guard.
your
like,
off guard two. No,
unless he's playing with like a super.
Yeah,
I mean, I just
if
feel
you throw him
like-
on the Celtics, yeah, he could do that.
Or if you throw him on like
a deep team like that,
you throw him one next to Ant.
Yeah, maybe. But I just feel like we beating a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? They injured, so it's like they're still not to their full potential. You know, Donovan.
But that's the thing every year.
Yeah.
When do they ever have full potential?
Yeah, that's been.
How long can we wait?
That's been the thing the last like 3 years with them, and they're not. You know what I mean? I just think you gotta.
I mean,
break
you
that
waited
up.
on the C's. It may
Yeah,
not have
but
been
you had-
injured.
But their
May
star
not have
players
been-
weren't injured.
Yeah, they weren't injured. They weren't. And
I mean, unless Kyrie, yes, but you're banking on the future in Brown and Tatum.
I just don't see you winning with like two guards that are
can't.
6'2" in today's NBA. I just really don't see that happening
And they souped up the defense as much as they could
With a
to
small
help them.
guard?
with two small guards because both like
So
as amazing as Donovan is.
So what's Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart?
Yeah, but Josh Hart's 6'4". They're both under 6'4", and Josh Hart plays like he's like 6'9".
But he's a small guard.
No, but he plays bigger than what he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Shit,
saying?
they have him at the four sometimes. You ain't never gonna put Garland at the four.
Yeah, you can't
But you
like
said
Garland.
It's not what they come with. You said two small guards.
Yeah, but 6'4" is bigger than 6'2". We're both our guards are 6'2".
Two
He's
more
6.
inches.
Yeah, but that's a lot. That's a lot.
And also Garland is undersized. He's small. Like
Yeah,
frame wise, he's
and
smaller
stature,
than Hart.
And Hart plays bigger than what he is. If Hart was like, you know what I'm saying?
It's still two small guards.
Nah,
Also,
it's not
like,
though, because one plays bigger than what he is though. Right? Like Garland's not gonna go out there and get you 12 rebounds, right? He's not. Like, you know what I mean? Like Donovan isn't good defensively.
But what
you know
I'm trying,
I mean?
I'm not saying what their attributes are and how he looks and how. I'm just saying they're two small guards.
Not as small as Cleveland though.
Okay.
Cleveland, we're talking about 6'2" and 6'1". That's smaller than
That's-
6'1"
yeah,
and 6'4".
yeah.
That's like that's
Jalen Brunson really 5'11". Let's be real.
whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? All right, but that's still okay. It's still one of them 6'4" then. That's
True.
6'4".
Yeah.
6'4" with a 40-inch vertical versus 6'1" shifty guard. That's light.
And they
probably
play
like a
and-
buck 85.
Facts. And they play at Hart, like, you know, with the big men. They're playing him close to the 4 to the 3.
Yeah.
The guard is really Mikal Bridges.
True.
You know what I mean? Because that's why they have it. Because
He's
they
about
need
6'5",
and they need a defender. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
A lanky defender. So it's like you can't just have these undersized guards who can't strap up in important moments. You can't win like that.
True.
Because then you really forcing your front court to do everything. You know what I mean? You were expecting Mobley to ball out. You're expecting Allen and everybody and Hunter just to lock down everything else.
And that's my fault. But that's part of the reason why they struggle in the playoffs too, because you can hunt both of them. Mm-hmm. You can hunt both of them, especially if you got multiple wings.
They one game away from losing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
they got to
saying?
break that up. They got to break that
You
up.
don't got to be all hard on them.
They
you know
can
what
figure it
I'm
out in
saying?
Cancun.
Yeah.
They will. They will.
They gonna join us. We over there.
Yeah,
Our boys over
word.
there figuring it out.
We been there. Mimosas, you know what I'm saying, on me.
Roc and the Celtics about to join us too.
Yeah, word. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
going to
I
Minnesota.
got you. You know what I'm saying? I know what it's. That's crazy.
Yeah, Minnesota's
You
crazy.
taking a flight out.
I'm
but
taking a flight out.
I'm going
Okay.
to Cancun. Fuck
yeah,
Minnesota.
yeah, I'm in Cancun with my dog. You know what I'm saying? We at the strip club every night. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Celtics are down 3-1. Nobody expected this. But it's a serious with Tatum's injury. You know he's out. We're gonna actually talk about Tatum's injury, so let's just more focus on the series. But I just wanted to let the people know, you know, that in my soliloquy. But is the series is the series over, or the Celtics have a chance? Well, to say something real quick, fans, whatever they say, if they switch it up, in their mind it's over. You know what I'm saying? Because the way they was talking before these cameras up about dog is crazy. I mean, they threw it in the episode as well, so you should know how they feel. But yeah, continue.
Is this my camera? Can they see? Is my camera on me?
Yeah.
It's over. It's over.
It's over.
It's wrapped up.
Yeah, okay.
So basically, unfortunately, how this is gonna go is y'all might get one more game. There might be one more bright spot. Brown could ball out, but the series itself is over.
Yeah.
There's nothing that they can do, because if the offense wasn't working with Tatum dropping 40, and y'all they couldn't win that game, you've been up 20 every game. That wasn't good enough. So what do we think is gonna happen with the players that are remaining? That's gonna change the dynamic.
True.
You know what I mean? I just can't see it. So like, granted, maybe the Knicks come in and they shit the bed tomorrow, but the Knicks are a better road team than the home team.
Yeah.
So, and they already won
2-0 in the Garden.
The Celtics haven't won it all in the Garden.
Yeah.
In this series, so we're expecting them to win this game because what? It's gonna be jumping. It was jumping game 1 and game 2. That didn't matter. So home court don't mean nothing. So it's really the players that mean something, and the players aren't playing up to their ability.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Wow.
Sorry, that's an ether right there. My fault, y'all.
Wow.
That definitely.
Hey, light a candle or something.
Yeah, listen.
It's a eulogy in this bitch.
I was beginning to. I was beginning to like this guy, man.
Tell it. Oh now. Okay.
Nah. Some real shit. Let me get my solo. Look at my
camera?
solo. Right there. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yo. Hey, yo. Look at me, America. Bro said it right. It'll probably go one more game, $300 million man, Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? The emotions of the game could potentially, propel the Celtics to victory. But ultimately, I just feel like the Celtics are fucked because, like, you got, get well, speedy recovery to Jason Tatum, but, like, you got your best player hurt. And then the thing that I don't think that they can overcome is coaching. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't overcome that. You can't overcome the guy that got to put together the game plan. Like, okay, he could try to give you all these, rah speeches and say all this shit to the media that he want to say, but in reality, like, you can't overcome that. You've been up 20 in all 4 games. If you would have told me a team has been up 20 in 4 games, I would think that they would be leading the series 3-1, or they would have swept them 4-0, or minimum maybe 2-2 over some shit, just because 20-point leads is not what it used to be because of the 3-ball. But if you're talking about an experienced championship team up 20 in all 4 games, that comes down to coaching. If you watch some of the shit that he's doing at the end of the games, it's just crazy. Like, you keep going to this 2 big man lineup and keeping JB on the bench for however long, right? Like, the hacker, I would go to the hacker Robinson.
Facts.
when the Knicks are making their run, I would go to the hacker Robinson.
Slow that
like,
shit
They've
down.
used it a few
exactly.
times.
Slow it down, slow the game down, because that's when the Celtics are good, when the game slowed down. When the game's going up and down and then they get caught, got to go ISO ball, that's not really what the Celtics want to do, right? So I would go hacker Robinson, right? I would put in like Sam Hauser or some shit just to come in and foul him. And if it works for, 2 or 3 possessions and then Tibbs take him out, all right, cool. But at least you don't extend that run and you give yourself an opportunity to, counter that run or something like that. I just think that there's a lot more stuff he could do. He's not really putting his best players in position, like in spots to catch the ball. Like, again, Tatum, like, he should be catching the ball. Like, he should have been catching the ball like at the elbow extended, like off something, some type of curl action or something. Like, it's just not really nothing to him. It's just like, once you figure out who he is, like, that's just how it, that's just how the game's gonna go. And then it's just like, may the best team win, and not even the best team, made the more hungry team win, and that's just what it is. Like, the Knicks want this moment. Jalen Brunson is fucking living up to the moment like a motherfucker. Not only is JT hurt, nigga, KP, he's finished. He's like,
missing in action.
Yeah, the wind's gonna blow and this kid's gonna break him in half. Fucking Holiday looks like he might be a little banged up. Derek White's Derek White. He's giving you, what he can. Pritchard's been balling, but to a degree, they kind of shut that shit down. They haven't figured out who to put on Michael when he's heating up, which I feel like they should have, try to put Tatum on him some more length, but they just want to keep a smaller guard on him every single time and just hope that he misses or hope it's just a 6-0 run. I just think there's a lot more that can be done, like game plan wise, X's and O's, and I just feel like, mentally now New York kind of has them defeated. So maybe they get a game, but there's a lot of X's and O's, the mental part of the game, and now shit, probably the physical part of the game too, because you're losing one of your best guys. I feel like, Celtics may get another game, but it's over because they're not going to be able to overcome Missoula.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to tell you that.
It was for shits and
Missoula.
It was for shits and giggles.
I hear you.
It was for shits and he got the chip. We was living off of up until yesterday, up until about 10 o'clock yesterday when Tatum tore his Achilles. We were living high off that chip. The thoughts of going back to back. Up until we seen Tatum on the floor, hurt. Then it was like, yeah. Fuck
Miami all over again, but much worse.
Yeah, but much worse. Yeah, so
worse.
So you definitely hope that he has a speedy recovery, especially right now in the prime of his career. But to answer the question, nah.
Yeah.
Fuck Missoula.
Yeah, I mean,
get him out of here. Hire Mike Malone. Shit, hire me. I just gave you a whole fucking game plan.
That was a good breakdown.
Like what? Come on, dog. Like what?
You get your own clip for that.
Like damn, cause it's mad shit that you could do in those situations. Like game 2, he didn't call a timeout. He's like, we got a good look. You gotta run the same play again, bro. The same exact play. Mitchell Robinson's pickup point was
what DMX saying, Belly? That's your man's.
And what homie saying, Belly? I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all.
I don't like that shit at all.
But I mean, I would agree with both of y'all. Just to make mine more quick. Jaylen Brown could definitely get them one game. If he gets them two, that'll be real interesting. But yeah, man, the Celtics season's over. I was like I said, I was saying it for shits and giggles. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks all season will get them. But I do feel like they match up well with them. And when I was watching the series, all the Celtics do is shoot threes, bro. They live and die by the three. So it's just like, shit, just hope for them, just close out and hope that, they miss and have a bad night shooting like they've had, for 3 games or maybe 2, I think, because they shot kind of different.
Nah, for 3.
For three.
Yeah, they shot a little bit better last game.
A little bit.
Since they've been in New York, they've shot a little bit better. So, you got to give them credit for that, I guess. But, yeah, the Celtics season's over, man. It's hard to repeat. It's not an easy thing, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, we definitely hoping for a speedy recovery with Jason Tatum, and we're going to definitely get more in depth in that a little later. But moving on to the Western Conference, you know what I'm saying? Ant-Man is been on a tear, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
he's 1 game away from going back to the Western Conference Finals after having an up and down season. I know I gave him y'all know I gave him a hard time. So yeah, man. What's y'all thoughts on this series? Can Jimmy push this to 7? And yeah, we're gonna start there. Can Jimmy push it to 7?
Nah, that's another body bag series right here.
It's over.
Put them away. Move over Celtics. Throw them in there too.
Yeah,
it's over because without Steph, there's nothing left. I think Jimmy's doing the best he can with what he's given.
Yeah.
He balled out. He gave us 30 a couple games ago. Still didn't win that game. I just don't think they have enough. They just don't have enough firepower. Draymond's older. They got Kuminga's balling out of his mind right now, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough. The Wolves are too young. They're too hungry. Too many scorers, too many weapons. Then the defense is just keying in on Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy can't do the things he normally does, and with the offense, right? Especially with the Warriors, because when he came in, they had to deal with Steph and him, so it was kind of like you had to key in on Steph almost, because so Jimmy's open in the mid range area to kind of navigate and do what he wants to do and get in the post if he wants to. But now it's just solely on him. And like we said before, cameras was rolling. They've got a lot of people to match up with Jimmy, a lot of physicality, and McDaniels, especially McDaniels. I feel like McDaniels matches up well against Jimmy, but it's just not a matchup where he can kind of move the needle the way he normally has and what we've seen playoff Jimmy do. Right. So I think the numbers that we've seen are kind of indicative of what's gonna be the rest of the series.
I think the series is over. I think it's
so. So if you know that, is the Wolves a championship team? Do we think can we say that?
Personally, Me personally, I would say yes. I feel like they check the boxes. I think the only thing that might get them is like their lack of sometimes they can really be in a drought offensively from the 3-point line, but they're not super like relying on it, and they still have, you're gonna be like, all right, they still have a guy that is a guy, like that is big time. You know what I'm saying? That when the game is weighing in the balance, he can take over the game, or he can physically impose his will on games. Like he's done it some games where his rebound and his defense, his playmaking. And I don't really think he had it down yet. I just think that they weren't. I think that they weren't winning at the clip they were winning last year because they were trying to figure things out. But his assists, his points, and his rebounds and his 3-point percentage is all up this year. So I don't think he personally had a bad year. It's just they made a huge trade and it took some adjusting to get used to. Guys got hurt, they was in and out. So but yeah, no, I think so. I think that they could match up with either Denver or OKC, and I think whoever comes out the West is beating whoever comes out the East, regardless.
Yeah, I agree with that part.
Yeah, so I definitely think they is. You know.
And so you don't think the Warriors is getting another game? It's
I don't think.
tonight.
I think tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yeah, going back to Minnesota.
You're right, because they played last night.
Yeah, going back to Minnesota, what the series would be. I just don't see it happening. Like unless Steph makes some miraculous comeback with his calf, I don't see it happening. Like John was saying, like without Steph, you could really key in on like certain areas. Like Steph just opens up the game so much. You have to pay so much attention. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy gets that one-on-one. Like, you can everybody else, you could live with them taking this shot. You could close out. You could kind of rotate a little late maybe if we have to. You could stay in front. You see Buddy ain't got off since that first game. Once they figured him out. You know what I'm saying? Once they figured him out, there's not really much to him. And Draymond's great. Draymond, but he had game one where he hit a lot of threes. We'll live with that every game. He's going to have to do that every single night. I think they'll definitely go out with a fight because Jimmy and Draymond, but I just think that the Wolves have too much clicking. They're younger, they're hungry, they're more physical, So
do y'all think Steph should come back?
I mean, if he can.
Yeah, if he can.
Why not?
If he can't, nah. I'm Steph.
I mean, it is a hamstring.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Is re-injury rate is high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So but then again, you're towards the end of your career.
Yeah,
so what do you really have to risk?
That's why I asked.
You ain't going to tear the bitch off the bone. Hopefully not, at least. So.
It's not.
You never know.
It's possible.
You never know.
Shit.
It's not worth risking because this is hamstring. So then because he's overcompensating, now he fucks up his knee. Or something like that.
True.
You know what I mean? Like we seen Tatum have an Achilles injury. We seen Dame have an Achilles injury. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to watch.
I see it to that point. We don't want to see Steph go out
we don't want to. If he don't got to, there ain't no need to. You know what I mean? Like he only has a few more years left in the league. No reason to just try to kill yourself right now over a series that you're down 3-1.
Yeah.
Because you got to win 3 games in a row.
Facts.
Like, and that's gonna be tough to do.
Yeah.
So Steph should just throw it in and just
see
chill. What his team could bring.
Just chill.
See if Jimmy could do it. Okay.
Jimmy
agree.
can't do it, but
yeah, I agree with both of y'all. I really don't think. I thought about it. I don't really think Steph should, step out there. I think he should just see if Jimmy could try his best to push it to 7. If not, Cancun, we here sipping.
There's a lot of niggas in Cancun, like good niggas in Cancun. Like if they run 5s in Cancun, it'll get crazy.
Oh hell yeah,
like, no bullshit. Like
Cancun 5s is lit.
Yeah, like it's crazy down there.
Busy
I got next. You know what I'm saying? But let's get to our last series, Thunder versus the Nuggets. Who do you have winning this series? I want to say the series is tied 2-2.
Yeah, it's tied 2-2. Game the next.
And
game
they play tonight.
Yep. Yeah.
They play
back
tonight.
in OKC.
You know what I'm saying? Back in OKC. So, when we come back to the studio, the series will most likely be over. So who do you have winning this series and going on to the Western Conference Finals?
I think last week when we was when it first started, I believe I had said Denver.
Yep. You ready to switch it up?
No. I'm not gonna switch it up. I'm gonna stay with Denver. I feel like Jokic hasn't played his best basketball as of yet, and that could be because they have so many guys to like throw at him and be physical with. But I'm gonna definitely stick with my pick because, like I said, I don't think Joker has played his best basketball, and so.
Okay, so you're gonna stay with them?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with them.
I'll go real quick before you go, John. I'm gonna go with the Thunder. I think Shea get it done. I'm watching your man Jalen Williams, man.
J-Dub.
He needs to really show up. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially those possessions where Shea needs him. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like Shea came down the last 4 possessions and maybe scored on 3 and dimed on 1, or 2 and 2. He scored and dimed on. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he needs to really step up and be that guy. Same thing with Czech. He needs to set some assertiveness as that big man down there. I mean, we're not asking you to be the enforcer, my G, but come on. You know what I'm saying? Jokic is roly-poly slowly. You know what I'm saying? So he get buckets, though. He get buckets, but it's like, it's not like he's moving at fucking... He's not moving like Sonic. You know what I'm saying? I know you got more muscle to deal with, but come on, bro. Move them feet. Make him, work a little bit.
When that nigga weigh the same amount as us.
You know what I'm saying?
300 pounds.
Yeah.
You talking
about Chet?
I'm talking about Chet. Yeah.
Chet. Oh, yeah. It's tough.
Got some rocks in his pocket or something.
Yeah, like,
tough. It definitely is.
Hartenstein's supposed to beat him up for you, pause, and you supposed to go in there and overrun him and make him overwork a little bit. But
you're a little bit.
Yeah, but Jokic hasn't been shooting his best.
That's what I'm saying. He hasn't played his best, and I feel like he's due for one of those
maybe,
nights.
But I don't know. Ever since Game 11, I don't know.
Because he had a good.
Didn't he have a 40-20 game?
Yeah, he had a 40-point game in the game 1.
I was like, he had a 40-20 game. So he kind of had a Jokic game, but not the complete because he hasn't shot well.
Because other players are balling, they stepping up. No. Other players are balling, they stepping up.
Aaron Gordon
Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray is having his moments.
Christian Bronson playing well.
Porter's been playing well. Russ has been giving them good minutes off the bench. It's just, your best player got to be your best player. You know what I'm saying? The other guys are doing, their job. We need him to do what he got to do, which I think he will, though. You know what I mean? Because of how these playoff series are, like, them great players are going to have them great moments.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I think so. I think he's due for one, and I'm hoping that tonight is the night so that, they can get it done. Yeah, because it's like this is gonna be tough, especially in this series where nobody has won like 2 games in a row. So it's like if you go up 3-2, at least you go back to the crib. Right. You know what I mean? Like you're playing with house money at that point. You feel me? You lose, okay, we're going back somewhere we done already won. It's game 7. Anything could happen. They haven't been in the game 7 before. Little shit like that matters.
It does.
So I think tonight is the one to get. Whoever wins tonight is probably gonna win the series. So I'm gonna go with Denver.
Whoever gets game 5.
Yeah, I think whoever.
Well, you're going with Denver, so
you
can't say whoever. But
no, I'm saying whoever. I want Denver to win,
but whoever.
I feel like whoever gets tonight is gonna win the series.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay. What about you?
I'm pretty sure last week I was with OKC, and I'm gonna still stay with OKC. I'm a big Jokic fan.
Yeah.
Jokic is my guy, but I think he needs so many things to go right for them to win. And I mean, we've seen him win in different ways now. We saw the game winner. We've seen them, win without game winners as well. But I just think that the help that he needs from the others, like Christian Braun's played well, Gordon's played well, but then it comes to like Westbrook off the bench. Is he gonna give it to you? Is he gonna give you what you need every time? I don't know. You know what I mean? That I question that more than I question the help from OKC.
Yeah.
J-Dub, Chet, Hartenstein, Wallace, Caruso. Those others seem to be a little bit more reliable, which I think is is going to hinder the Nuggets. So I got to go with OKC. I would like to see Denver go, and I feel like this would be a time where if he could make it to that next round, if he could make it to the finals, he's winning another ship.
Fact.
You know what I mean? Like we said, whoever is coming out of the West is taking out the East. So I would love to see him be there, but I just don't think the way they're set up with the talent on the team, I don't think it's good enough right now.
Okay. Forgot what I was about to add. Oh, how many games?
Oh, how many games does it go?
You think it goes to 7-6?
I'm going 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think they get this next dub, and I think that kind of takes the air out the balloon.
As a balloon for Denver. I mean, I agree with both of y'all. I think I think OKC's gonna get it in 6. You know what I mean? They're gonna put that pressure on. They're a little bit more younger than them, and they're gonna push the envelope, try to, make the Nuggets play outside their game, and go to the Western Conference Final.
I think Jokic is gonna have to have a couple of those Jokic games.
Yeah, he's gonna have to have a couple 40-point and 22 and
Man.
ball out. But yeah, let us know who y'all got winning in the comments, man. Between the Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, Pacers, Wolves, Warriors, and Thunder and Nuggets. Let us know in the comments, man. Tap in. But moving on to Jason Tatum, man. Ruptured his Achilles. He most likely will be out next season as well. So what does this mean for the Celtics' future and their championship window? Is it starting to shut, or is it still a little open, and we just gotta wait till
as currently constructed, it's shut.
2020, 2026 going into 2027?
Because
see Tatum.
The way this currently constructed is definitely closing. The Drew Holiday, Al Horford, that era is over. You know what I mean? You got to move on. You got to get younger. You got to pay less money. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? At the end of the day, Jaylen Brown could be part of that too. But I think that depends on how this next season goes, what they see, and definitely how this the playoffs shake out. Because they're like, we're paying you this much money, but you're not reaching to the caliber that we need you to go to win. Why are we paying? You know what I mean? Unfortunately, and I think he's a good player, and I think he's important to what they've done so far and the legacy that they've had. But money's money. It's a business at the end of the day, and if you're not making us, if you're not a good investment, you're not a good investment.
Facts.
So, I think the way currently constructed, it is the end of this era. I think Tatum could bounce back. He has a great game. He's a great offensive player. The issue is going to be kind of the opposite of what I felt with KD. KD was an efficient shooter. So it was easy for him to bounce back from an Achilles injury. I don't know if Tatum's going to bounce back like that. His game is a little bit more predicated on his athletic ability. Yeah. Than I feel like KD, who could just rise up and shoot over anybody else, being like a 7-footer.
A little bit more.
It's just a little, so just a little bit easier for him to get to the bucket. So I don't know how much he's going to settle upon coming back from that injury. So that's all up in the air. But I do think, to answer your question short term, I think that this is the end of this legacy for the time being. Damn. I think they did a lot though. They did some
one
things.
chip. That's a lot.
No, but for Celtics Nation, I think that's a lot. They hadn't seen one since 2008. So to them, this is probably
and there's a lot. There's great players in the league that's never gotten a chip. So one chip is a lot. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to do that, but
is it a legacy? Is it a legacy of one chip?
Yeah. Well, definitely.
I mean, when they put the big three together, they only won one.
Bro,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I just want to separate. So it's a legacy, but it's not a dynasty. A dynasty.
Nah, dynasty. You got to get at least 3 in like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Celtics could kiss that dynasty.
Nah, that dynasty wrapped up.
Nah, it's I don't think it's closed. I think moves have to be made because you still have like you're not doing nothing with. You're probably not going to do nothing with Tatum. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So the biggest asset that you have is Brown. You know what I'm saying? And Holiday to a degree as well, because to the right team, he can be a piece that can, you know what I'm saying, that can help them in the right situation and what you're trying to get back for it as well. So I wouldn't
about trading Brown.
I was saying Holiday. The second part is Holiday. Okay. But I wouldn't say it's over because, you know what I'm saying, you still have Tatum. I think he'll bounce back. I think great players have a way of like adapting, like adjusting their game. Maybe now he finally really does become like a, mid-range type of guy and keep it simple, one dribble, boom, boom. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he changes his game to that. But I don't think so because you got assets to bring in more assets. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say it's over. It might be only way I say it is if Mazzulla doesn't change his style.
Yeah.
Right? Like if he doesn't change that analytical shit up, he basically is Mike D'Antoni with a ring.
Damn.
No bullshit.
Damn.
Because Mike D'Antoni's style was 3 after 3, like Phoenix 3 after 3 after 3.
At least it had
second
some
offense right
motion
there.
with it.
Yeah, but the Celtics had
He a guru.
we were saying
Don't
it.
compare
No, we
him
were
to
saying it.
Mike
We were saying
D'Antoni.
it. Well, we were saying it yesterday. We were saying it.
Offensive guru.
No, all right. Hold on. But we were saying it yesterday.
He has Steve Nash.
You were saying it, you were saying it yesterday. Like Celtics
he still draws up a
Celtics
great
run a little. They run a little motion, but then it ends into nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the same. That was the same thing with D'Antoni. But D'Antoni's was just his was higher, especially in Houston. It was higher level isolation because of the player that he had. You know what I'm saying? You had a player that could score at that clip. So it's like, why not go? But it still was 3 after 3 after 3 after 3.
And look at any team D'Antoni had outside of that Houston team when he had Harden at the peak of his career, and then he had Steve Nash at the peak of his career. So if you didn't have a point guard facilitating that bullshit offense, it wasn't going to run as efficiently as we saw it. Because he went to the Lakers. He was a Lakers coach. Y'all seen that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that was different. It was different.
And the Knicks.
Yeah, Kobe. Why didn't it work?
Kobe
And
loved
the
the
Knicks.
triangle.
Why didn't it
and
work,
Kobe
though?
don't want to just jack
And the
up
Knicks, he was with the Knicks. He was with Melo and
it didn't work over there either.
It didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that style of play is not going. It's like it's not sustainable for a long period of time. Celtics got the chip, and honestly, they got that chip because they had got a healthy Drew Holiday. They had what was left of KP. And they was right there. They was knocking on the door for so long that they finally kicked the door in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but if that shit, I'm gonna say as presently constructed, the window is closed, but they have a chance to extend it because they have shit that they can move around. But as of right now, with Tatum hurt, probably not playing next year. I don't see them competing for a championship. But I will say, Jaylen Brown. I think you're a great player. I fucked with Jaylen Brown since high school. Always loved this game. You got to show right now why you're getting paid $300 million. You got the second highest contract in NBA history, right? Like you got to go and show why you deserve every dollar, and all the noise shuts up.
Facts.
Like completely. Like it's put up or shut up right now. Like completely. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't, then maybe we'll see the business side.
Yeah, you got to.
I think their championship window's closed for a while because with Jason Tatum going down, soon enough they're gonna start to hit the panic button. Mm-hmm. For some reason they are. They just I feel like that's what front offices do. When things is not going the right way, they hit the panic button. But it's interesting because now we're gonna see them, be heavy on Jaylen Brown. And if the Celtics don't make the playoffs next year, it's gonna be a lot of question marks around him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So even if they don't win a certain amount of games, there's gonna be question marks around him. So Jaylen Brown, buckle up, bro. Buckle up.
And
it's gonna be a long one, bro.
And I don't really think.
And I believe in you.
I do too.
I'm hoping you win at least 50 games because I feel like 50 games would be like, okay.
That'll validate him.
I definitely do. But I don't think he's like super tailor made for Missoula's system. I think Tatum a little more because he can shoot the 3 ball better. But Jaylen Brown, he don't shoot the 3.
And
like that's not
where
his.
Missoula may go.
That's Jaylen Brown's just not the like. Even if he's hitting, like it's gonna take away from all the other shit that he does as well. So
it's not the ideal system.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the ideal system.
Let's just let him. How about we let him prove himself in that #1 solo spot first?
I mean, no, we can see. No, we're definitely gonna see. We're definitely look. We can. Like I said, it's put up a shut up time.
It really
is.
But shit. Fire nigga dog and shit. Hire Sam Cassell because son.
Dogs.
They gotta do something, man.
They gotta do something. Nah, because there's no way. Let me get me started on him again. We need another solo nigga.
Yeah.
One of the luckiest men in basketball. Just.
Absolutely.
But it's over. It's over for them right now. For
the time being,
especially with the luxury, with the tax that they're gonna get in the next coming years.
They're gonna get
new
hit
owners.
hard.
By the time Tatum does come back, that's when new ownership takes. What are they? 27?
Nah. They took over. They take over 29.
29. Okay, so he's got a little more time.
Yeah. I think at the end of 29. Yeah, 28, 29. Yeah. 28, 29.
Might be at the end of 28, early 29.
Well, right? I believe it's. I
don't think it goes into.
Because I thought it was 28, 29 was when like the sale was going to be
I've been
finished.
wrong since yesterday.
And that's when the second apron and stuff is gonna start to kick in.
That part's true.
Yeah, so that's why when they had constructed the team and paid everybody that bread, it was supposed to be over the next like 2 to 3 years before you know what I mean, all that like
before the shit hit.
Yeah, so but it's like if you could find a way to get around that, add pieces, and possibly go past that 28, 29, then you know what I'm saying, that's great. And it's like
they was really supposed to win in this time. So at that time they could just be like, okay, y'all go ahead.
Yeah, and it's like if the I don't want to say if the run is done, but like, you know, they duos don't really stay together for, you know what I'm saying, as long as Tatum and Brown was together. Not even Kobe and Shaq. They was ready to break that up if they didn't win in 2000. Somebody was about to get moved. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Braun and your man D Wade only stayed together 4 years. Yeah. Braun and Kyrie 4 years. You feel me? Like, so it's like you don't get 8, 9 years, however long they've been together. You know what I'm saying? And you know, to go through some of the woes that they had. They gave them an opportunity to get to the finals, you know, get back and win the championship. So, you know what I'm saying? We'll see what they do, but I could definitely see you paying $700 million to 2 guys. I could kind of see them like trying to break that up.
Of course.
And divvy that out. Like, I feel like that's just smart.
Billionaires are cheap.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you won. I mean, but then that's like you won your bread. You won your ring. You got your bread. What could you ask for?
Right. I checked. New ownership takes over end of 28.
End of 28? Okay.
See? Because I seen they said 28.
Well, so they said it's murky, though, so it could be anywhere between 27 to 29. But they're trying to start at 27, 28, but probably 28.
Oh, so we was both right.
Yeah, it was kind of like a large gap. They don't know.
Okay.
Whenever all that bread is
right.
sent in, when that 6.1 billion.
Whenever Uncle fucking Tom call and say, hey, I need my bread back.
I need my chicken.
6.4 billion.
They said, oh shit,
that's crazy.
It's a lot to pay.
So they better trade that nigga Brown now.
Yeah,
Them niggas is calling now.
Well, moving on to our last topic of the night. Oh, we've been away from football for a little bit since the draft. But I thought I should throw this in there. Derek Carr retired from the NFL. What does this mean for the Saints? I mean, shit. Derek Carr threw me for a spin. I'll go real quick. Derek Carr threw me because, I want to get it all. But Derek Carr threw me for a spin, man, because it's like, shit, that shoulder injury must be really, really bad because homie ain't trying to get surgery. And it's like, he needs surgery. So he's probably like, fuck it. I want to throw with my kids. I want to be able to play with my kids and not ruin my fucking rotation on my arm, cuff or whatever. So, I feel him on that. And what it means to me, what it means for the Saints is, I mean, shit, you was already in trouble already at the quarterback position. Like, you just in more deeper shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it worse. Which you should have drafted Shador, but it is what it is. So, you get what you get this season, fuckers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But what's your thoughts on Derek Carr retiring and what it means to the Saints,
I mean, it definitely sets them back. Now, like you said, I mean, at least before they had a starting caliber quarterback. Derek Carr doesn't really move the needle. He doesn't really do that much in the league, but he is a starting caliber quarterback more than Rattler or the other. Who's the other nigga you guys said it was? Who they draft?
Tyler Starborough.
Yeah, come on now. So like
underhand interception.
So to me, it's just that the Saints weren't going to be that good this year. They were going to be okay because the division can be tough. Like it's kind of gritty in that NFC whatever they're in.
NFC South.
Yeah, thank you. With the Bucks and all them, that's always a fight. So and the Panthers and them. So anyone could kind of sneak out of there. You never really know.
Facts.
But this definitely puts them probably a notch below. Like I would say if the Panthers and them were neck and neck, now they're below. You know what I mean? And Atlanta's above them as well. So it's like they definitely are on the bottom tier of that conference now, of that division, excuse me. So it's just
bottom of the conference too, John. You know what you're talking about.
Literally all the above. So it's just like I don't understand the logic. Like you said, you should have got Shador. I don't know how they don't have this conversation with Derek Carr beforehand. Like, oh, hey, are you going to have surgery on your shit that took you out at the end of the season?
Fact. But I thought that was the plan. But then he just was like, nah.
So, I mean, I guess unless he just Andrew Lucked him and was just like, hey, fellas, by the way, fuck it. I'm not coming in no more.
You were.
I'm going to pack this shit in.
Sent in his pink slip.
Right. But, I mean, also Derek Carr, I mean, thinking from his perspective, it's like he's had a decent career. Was he gonna do anything with this Saints team? No.
Yeah.
Was he gonna get another big contract? No.
Yeah.
So like, at the same point, it's like, why not pack it up? Why not go chill with my kids?
Yeah.
I seen that on Instagram. His whole wife did a whole little vlog of what he did his first day of retirement. Nigga went out, had a race with the kids, was gardening and shit. Yeah, they got a whole little thing.
Okay.
He was having a good ass
he
time.
already enjoying his time.
Yeah.
His feet already kicked up.
Yeah, I could see him on ESPN soon.
Yeah, facts. Him and Dan Orlovsky.
Yep.
They might get rid of Dan. Contract's coming to an end, I'm hearing.
I got love for Dan.
I'd take that. That's a step up because Derek Carr was a better quarterback than Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah,
he was.
exactly.
So I'd hear what he's saying.
Dan played up in UConn. I got love for him.
I would
Last time he
say
was good.
I would say I agree with John. I think Derek Carr, like, you know what I'm saying. I always felt like there was some arm talent there.
Yeah.
But you you don't make it to the NFL not having arm talent unless you're Mac Jones and you go to Alabama with a bunch of studs. So I just never he wasn't really moving the needle. I don't really think he was doing nothing with the Saints like before. And it's crazy because they got some really good weapons over there. But I don't think he was the guy to like put them over the hump. I think he was like John said, he was a starting caliber NFL quarterback. But I mean, I think he retired because of like the injury, obviously this injury, but he's had a history of some really like gruesome injuries, like some really bad injuries. So, I could definitely see him just like, like I'm
wrapping it up.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm done with this. But, he wasn't really moving the needle. Maybe I sound crazy when I say this, but I think Aaron Rodgers should just follow suit and do the same thing. I think he's somebody that should retire. No knock on Aaron, but he's just not what he used to be. But as far as Derek Carr, it's like, what I'm saying, thank you for your services in this league that we love. But like, you know what I mean?
And what's your thoughts on the Saints? Like,
as a team?
Yeah, they.
I mean, conference wise, nowhere. Division wise, probably nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see NFC.
Damn, Saints.
He said, so my thoughts, the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. Like NFC South, it is tough. You got the Bucks gonna have. They made some good moves in the draft. They believe in Baker. You know what I'm saying? He knows their system. Todd Bowles is a good defensive coach. Who was it? Atlanta, started off the season last year very promising and then kind of died off. But I know they really got belief in Michael Penix and everything. So, I still would put them above the Saints because the Saints don't know what their quarterback is going to look like. Like, they got good weapons, but the weapons aren't good if they don't have nobody to get them the ball consistently enough. Defensively, I don't know how they're gonna look. I don't know how Kellen Moore is gonna, fail as
He'll be gone in 2 years.
Yeah, as a head coach, exactly. And they dropped the ball on the Shador pick, so that's that's kind of, I don't want to say karma, but it was just like you get what you get because you didn't take the person that you should have taken.
Facts that you might have needed.
Yeah, so the Saints it doesn't make me think nothing that I thought about them that I didn't think of them before. It's just the Saints. They just an NFL team. Yeah.
The only person I feel bad for over there is honestly Alvin Kamara.
Yeah,
Alvin Kamara.
He deserves a little better than this.
He definitely does.
Yeah.
End
Hopefully
his career like this.
Yeah, hopefully they trade him. You know what I'm saying? But all them other guys, Chris Olave and some of the other young guys they got, it's like you ain't gonna really be able to see what they can do because who's gonna get them to rob?
Right.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and even if Kellen Moore, he's an offensive minded guy, but you need a quarterback.
You do.
You know what I'm saying? You need a quarterback. And they're not head and shoulders like, it's not like a Minnesota situation. They brought in Sam Darnold, but they had two guys. They had a stud at wide receiver, and they had another guy who could have been the number one somewhere. So it's like, it's not like that. You don't have that. You have good pieces, but yeah, man, I don't think nothing else about them. New Orleans, great city though. Definitely one.
Shout out New Orleans.
Yeah, Nola for sure. Got it, Bourbon Street.
What's up,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Everything.
What's up, baby?
Yeah, everything good down there. You know what I mean? Definitely. Shout out Nola, but it's not looking good for the Saints.
For the Saints.
But that's cool because y'all got distractions.
Yeah, exactly.
Big distraction.
That's the reason Zion can't lose weight.
At all.
Damn right, all them damn beignets.
Yeah, all that gumbo and shit.
Crawfish.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Catfish eat too fast. Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
we go on and on. We turn into a food podcast in a minute.
Word, listen.
Exactly. So yeah, nah.
Jambalaya.
Jump and throw it on the table. I want some. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get them out of here. The Saints them down.
Sit them down, man. You know what I'm saying? Best wishes to Derek Carr, man, on your retirement.
Yeah, definitely.
Hope you enjoy the rest of life, man. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for your services.
Thank you for your services. You feel me? But that's a wrap for episode 12 of T3MU TV Sports Show. How'd y'all feel about today's episode before we get up out of here?
Smooth. Had some good topics. Glad we got to get some football in there. Been a little minute. Missed the football content.
You're going to be our football guy come fall, man.
Can't wait. I'm excited already.
No, I can't wait for the football, though. For real.
Yeah, me too.
Me and Rock about to be at the Patriot Stadium.
The
preseason.
You feel me? I got
this. May's looking good, man.
May's looking good.
May's looking good, dog. I'm just a believer in Vrabel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everybody is.
Yeah, for real.
Everybody is.
Yeah, so he gonna get them right.
Okay. Feeling good about today's episode?
Yeah, absolutely. Every time we come and do what we got to do, I feel good. You know me, man. Mr. Positivity, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't really see much bad shit happening. Many bad days.
Feel what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
So that's a wrap, man. Episode 12. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Stay tuned in, man. We're gonna keep coming with the episodes. See y'all next episode. Peace.